This is Alconchel, a 16-year-old Andalusian stallion. He was very difficult to ride and he was always running and panicking during riding. Alconchel is a left-banded horse with short muscles on the left side and weaker muscles on the right side. Because of his heavy head and neck, the front legs carried more weight than the hind legs. When there was no rider sitting on him, this was not a problem. The problems arose when the extra weight of the rider was added while he was not straight. With the rider's weight, he often lost his vertical balance. When he lost his vertical balance, then he lost balance in his entire body. He could only keep his balance by speeding up. Compare this with a motorcycle. The higher the speed, the more it leans to the inside of the curve. With vertical imbalance, almost every horse will speed up automatically. When Alconchel is in imbalance, then he wants to use his head and neck to balance himself. This makes him lift his head up. This can only be done when he tenses his long back muscle. This muscle is located on both sides of the spine, and when tensed it becomes short, stiff and hard. A horse with a short upper line and a high head is always ready to flee. This makes these horses very alert. Tension in the back causes mental tension. So it was not easy to ride him, especially on the right side. He was always nervous and walk was almost impossible. He was always trotting and running. Natural asymmetry is a muscle problem that can be resolved by straightness training. The structural theme in straightness training is using the first 3 keys of straightness training. In every exercise, the horse is asked to move in the correct lateral bending in order to make it release its back muscles. It also brings forward the inside hip so that the inside hind leg can step under the point of weight. These 3 keys are also called the LFS of the horse. The L stands for lateral bending, the F for forward down, and the S for stepping under. The LFS is the structural theme of work at hand, launching and riding. This video shows Alconchel in all these 3 parts of straightness training. This is the first day I start straightness training with Alconchel, and this is his difficult right side. And you can see he has problems with understanding what I want. So he starts running because of his mental and physical imbalance. On his left side, it is a little bit more easy for him. There he keeps his balance a little bit better and start to relax a little bit more. So 4 days later he's much more comfortable and he shows a much better LFS on the circle. He has a nice lateral bending, his back muscles are released, and he's stepping under with the inside hind leg. And also to the right, he shows a much better LFS. He's turning instead of falling on the shoulder, and he's relaxed in his mind. So on the 4th day, Alconchel is ready for the next step, and that is the launching part. So now he has to be more on his own feet, and he has to show the LFS on a bigger circle. And he has the tendency to fall on his inside shoulder, and then he loses his balance and start to trot, or he makes the circle smaller, but he has to keep balance on a bigger circle. Here we see the launching on the right, and he has to bend to the right as a left-bended horse. Here he's falling on his right shoulder, loses his balance, and then start trotting. That is his habit to survive. A few days later, he's much more comfortable, and he's not only physical in balance, but also mentally, and he's not running anymore and listening. And also on the right, he now is able to turn instead of falling on the inside shoulder, and we are able to trot. Here you can see him trotting on the left, also with the LFS, the lateral bending forward down and stepping under with the inside hind leg, and also trotting on the right is improving without running, without falling, and without stress. So we prepared Alconchel with the work at hand and the launching. In work at hand and launching, the horse can do the LFS now. So now's the time to start riding again. But immediately he takes up his head because he loses his balance and he shortens his back. So I'm sitting a little bit light, that I'm not heavy on his back. And he starts running immediately. And well, that's not a problem. The problem is that he doesn't take the LFS, so I start with the first key, the lateral bending. Don't start with forward down, don't start with stopping him, but start with the lateral bending. The lateral bending will stretch his back muscles and will bring the inside hip forward, and then he can support himself with the inside hind leg. So the lateral bending is the first key to work with, and then he can relax because he has more balance and he stretches his back muscles, and then we get also relaxation in the mind. The next day he's much more comfortable, he has much more confidence, and he's not running anymore, thanks to the 3 keys of straightness training. And the first key is the most important one, that is the lateral bending. Because of the lateral bending, the back muscles will lengthen. Because of the forward down, he will relax. And because of stepping under with the inside hind leg, the horse will find balance. So that he learned. And when a horse learns something, I stop the training and I say to the horse, okay, this is what you had to learn. Always stop on the top and then give the horse freedom. Then the next day, the horse will remember what it learned the day before.